I still remember the exact moment my life flipped upside down. Not slowly, not gently, but like everything I believed in just got snatched away in one clean move. My brother Michael? Yeah, he got the dream. A $1.5 million house in San Diego. Ocean breeze, clean streets, big glass windows, the kind of place people grind their whole lives just to afford a down payment. And me? I got dirt. 50 acres of dry, forgotten land in the middle of nowhere, Tennessee. Land that hadn't grown a single thing in over 2 decades. No crops, no life, just cracked soil, broken fences, and a barn that looked like it might collapse if the wind hit it wrong. And the crazy part? They said it was like it was fair, like we both got something equal. Man, I knew right there, this wasn't about property, this was about value. And I wasn't worth much in their eyes. I didn't even react at first. I just sat there on that couch, holding that thin piece of paper like it was heavier than a brick. Meanwhile, Michael was over there smiling like he just hit the jackpot, which he did. My parents? Oh, they were glowing, proud, emotional, like they had just secured the future of their successful son. Me? I got a nod and a "you'll figure it out." That was it. No excitement, no belief, just acceptance that I'd always be second place. But nothing, and I mean nothing, hit harder than what happened when I got home. Emily, my wife. The one person I thought had my back no matter what. She didn't even sit down, didn't even try to understand. She looked at the deed like it offended her. "Daniel, are you serious right now?" Her voice wasn't confused. It was disgusted. "Your brother gets a mansion and we get this? A dead farm in Tennessee? What am I supposed to do now? Start milking cows?" I tried to explain, tried to stay calm. "Hey, it's still land. Maybe we can sell it, flip it, figure something out." She cut me off. "No, there's nothing to figure out. This is worthless, and I didn't marry a man who settles for nothing." That line? Yeah, that one stuck. I didn't marry a man who settles for nothing. But what she really meant was, I didn't marry you. Not this version of you. Not the guy who got the short end of the stick. Not the guy who lost. And before I could even process it, she was already packing. No big fight, no tears, no "let's fix this." Just cold, quiet distance. Like she had already checked out long before that moment. When she walked out that door, I didn't just lose my wife. I lost the last person who made me feel like I mattered. That night, I sat alone. Lights off, silence loud. That farm deed sitting on the table like a joke I didn't understand. I kept replaying everything in my head. My parents choosing Michael, Emily walking out, my brother winning, again. And me, holding on to 50 acres of nothing. I ain't gonna lie, I broke that night. Not loud, not dramatic, just quiet. Empty, like something inside me finally gave up. But somewhere in that silence, something else showed up too. A thought. What if I just leave? Not run away, just go. Face it. Sell the land. End this chapter. Start over somewhere nobody knows me. Yeah, that sounded right. So the next morning, I packed a bag, grabbed my keys, and hit the road. The city lights, the noise, the life I thought I wanted, all gone in my rearview mirror. And for the first time in a long time, it was just me. No expectations, no comparisons, no Michael. Just me and the road. The drive was long as hell. Days on the highway, gas stations, cheap motels, bad coffee, and way too much time to think. I kept hearing my grandpa's voice in my head. "Boy, this land ain't just dirt. You gotta respect it." Back then, I thought he was just old school stubborn. Now, I wasn't so sure. Why did he leave it to me? Not Michael. Me. The one nobody believed in. The one who never made it. Did he see something I didn't? Or was this just his way of passing down a burden? By the time I crossed into Tennessee, everything felt different. The air quieter, the roads slower, the world less fake. And when I finally pulled up to that farm, man, it hit me hard. Worse than I remembered. The house looked tired, the barn looked broken, the land, dead, just like everyone said. I stepped out of the truck and just stood there, wind brushing past me, nothing but silence all around. And I swear, for a second, I felt like this place was staring back at me, like it knew I didn't belong, like it was waiting to prove me wrong. I lit a cigarette, hadn't smoked in years, and just stood there thinking, this is it. This is what I got left. And honestly, I was ready to let it go. Sell it, forget it, move on. But what I didn't know, what nobody told me, was that everything I believed about this land, about my family, about myself, was about to get completely flipped. Because buried under that dry, cracked dirt was something nobody saw coming. And the moment I found out, yeah, that's when the real story began. All right, now this is where everything flips. Same energy, same cinematic vibe, even more intense. I didn't sleep much that first night on the farm. The place creaked like it had stories it wasn't ready to tell. Every little sound felt louder in the silence. Wind slipping through broken wood, floorboards shifting like they remembered footsteps that weren't mine. I kept staring at that ceiling thinking, how did my life end up here? No wife, no family support, no future. At least that's what it felt like. Just me and a piece of land nobody wanted. Morning came slow, sunlight barely pushing through dusty windows. I dragged myself outside, boots hitting dry dirt, and that same thought kept looping in my head. Sell it, just sell it and leave. That was the plan. Simple, clean, done. Around 8 a.m., a truck rolled up the gravel road. Old pickup, engine loud, tires crunching like it owned the place. That was Larry, the surveyor. Dude looked like he'd spent his whole life working land like this. Weathered face, calm eyes, the type of man who doesn't waste words. He stepped out, shook my hand firm. "You're Henry's grandson." Not a question, a statement. I nodded. "Yeah, that's me." He looked around the property for a second, real quiet, like he was reading something I couldn't see. "Your granddad loved this land," he said. I gave a small shrug. "Yeah, well, I'm not him. I just need to know what it's worth." Straight to the point. No emotions, just business. He studied me for a second, then nodded. "All right, let's see what we got." We spent hours walking that land, and I mean hours. He was checking everything. Boundaries, soil, elevation, stuff I didn't even understand. Meanwhile, I'm just following behind him like, "Bro, just tell me how bad it is." Every time he'd stop and look at the ground a little longer than usual, my chest tightened, like I already knew the answer. Worthless. Every step confirming it. At one point, I couldn't hold it in anymore. "Be real with me," I said. "This land's dead, right?" He didn't answer right away, just kept working, then finally said, "Your granddad turned down offers for this place." I frowned. "Offers? For this?" He nodded. "More than you'd expect." Now that didn't make sense at all. "Why?" I asked. He just shrugged slightly. "Some folks don't see land the way others do." That answer didn't help. If anything, it messed with my head even more, because now I wasn't just thinking the land was worthless, I was starting to wonder if I was missing something. Still, I brushed it off. Didn't matter. I just wanted out. By evening, he packed up. "I'll run the tests," he said. "Give me a couple days." A couple days. Man, those felt longer than the whole drive out there. That night, I sat on the porch, looking out at that empty land. Same broken fences, same dead fields. But now, it felt different. like there was something hidden under the surface, and I just couldn't see it yet. My phone buzzed. Michael. Of course. I almost ignored it, but nah, I answered. "Yo, Daniel," he said, all casual. "Heard you're out there playing farmer now." That laugh? Yeah, same one from childhood, that "I'm better than you" laugh. "I'm just handling my business," I said. He chuckled. "Man, when you realize that place ain't worth squat, just come back. I got space. You can crash at my place." Crash. At his place. The house that should have been both of ours. Then he added, "Mom and Dad always knew you weren't built for big things, bro." Silence. My grip tightened on the phone. But this time, though, I didn't snap, didn't argue, didn't defend myself. I just said, "Good night, Michael," and hung up. Because something inside me was shifting. I didn't know what yet, but I wasn't that same guy anymore. 2 days later, Larry came back, and I swear I could feel it before he even stepped out the truck. Something was different. He wasn't casual anymore. He was serious, holding this thick folder like it actually mattered. My heart started pounding. We sat down on the porch, wind moving through the fields, silence heavy. He opened the folder slowly, slid a paper toward me. Charts, numbers, maps. Didn't make sense. "What am I looking at?" I asked. He leaned forward, tapped the page. "Daniel, what you've got under this land." He paused, and that pause felt like my whole life was waiting on it. "Ain't dead soil." I frowned. "What?" He looked me dead in the eyes. "This land is sitting on one of the richest rare earth mineral deposits I've seen in years." Silence. I blinked. Once. Twice. "You're serious?" He nodded. "Dead serious. We're talking materials used in tech, electric vehicles, big money stuff. Companies go crazy for this." My brain couldn't catch up. This didn't make sense. This was supposed to be nothing. This was supposed to be my loss. "You're saying this land is valuable?" Larry leaned back slightly. "Son, this ain't just valuable." He paused. "This is life-changing." Boom. Everything hit me at once. Emily leaving, my parents choosing Michael, all those years of feeling like I wasn't enough, and the whole damn time I was sitting on something bigger than all of them combined. "Grandpa knew," I whispered. Larry raised an eyebrow. "Sounds like he did." And in that moment, everything clicked. Grandpa didn't leave me nothing. He left me everything. Not because I was the best, but because I was the one who needed to become it. I stood up, walked out into the field. Same land, same dirt, but now it didn't look dead. It looked powerful, like it was waiting for me to finally understand it. My phone rang. Mom. I answered. "Daniel, Michael said something about the land. What's going on?" I took a deep breath, and for the first time in my life, I didn't feel small talking to them. "This land," I said calmly, "is worth more than that house you gave Michael." Silence. Heavy silence. Then my dad's voice. "You serious?" I looked out at the horizon. "Yeah, and Grandpa knew it." Another silence. Different this time. Not dismissive. Shocked. Regretful. But it didn't hit me the way I thought it would, because I didn't need their validation anymore. "I gotta go," I said, and hung up. That night, I walked that land under the stars, and for the first time in my life, I didn't feel like the forgotten son. I didn't feel like the second choice. I didn't feel like I lost. I felt chosen. Weeks passed. Offers started rolling in. Big companies, serious money, life-changing numbers. Michael called again. Different tone this time. "Hey, we should partner up. I can help you handle this." I smiled. "No, bro. I got it." Because now, I didn't need him. My mom called too. Soft voice. "We always believed in you." I didn't argue. Didn't call them out. I just said, "I believe in myself now." And that was enough. Even Emily reached out, crying, apologizing. "I made a mistake. I want to come back." But nah, that chapter was closed. Because she didn't leave when I had nothing. She left when she thought I was nothing. Big difference. And I learned something through all this. Sometimes life hands you something that looks like nothing, just to see if you've got the patience to discover what it really is. I lost everything just to find myself. And that farm, it didn't just change my future. It showed me my worth. And once you see that, man, nobody can ever take it from you again.